Indeed, Martha. Yes, I'm here with Ian Howells, the Senior Vice President for Honda in Europe, the most senior person in the company based here. And Ian Howells, you've been here since the 1980s through some pretty thick and some thin times. Why now, in your own words?
Well, clearly it's a very sad day for us. As you correctly said, we've been operating from the factory for about 30 years now. But really what we're responding to, and this was made clear by Hijiko-san as well, that we're seeing unprecedented change in the industry. And this is really happening on a global scale, such that we're having to move very, very swiftly towards electrification of our motor vehicles. And this is a demand both of our customers but also of legislation. And it's really starting to give us some challenges. So we're having to address that. It means that we're having to look very closely at where we're putting investment and targeting that investment in areas where the volumes and the marketplace are of a size for Honda that really make the investment worthwhile.
And that is what, Japan, China, the US?
Generally speaking, yes. But unfortunately, the conclusion coming out of that is that that does not include Swindon. Sadly, because of the relative size of the marketplace we have in Europe, about 150,000 units, compared with China, the US, we're looking at 2 million or so. It's significantly different.
I've got a presentation here which may have been written by you, and it was for MPs in the West Country around Swindon, and it was in 2017, so not long ago. It was after the referendum vote, and in the knowledge that there was an EU-Japan trade deal which would reduce tariffs for cars coming from Japan into the EU. And it says, following a £200 million investment, Swindon will be the global production hub for the Civic from January 2017, shows a very clear and sustainable future for Honda in the UK. And manufacturing there. We hope to be confident the UK will have a business environment which supports and encourages global and European free trade. That is not long ago. Things change so quickly that none of that holds true.
The position we're in 2017, that was the beginning of the production cycle. We have to look at roughly a 5-year cycle before we are looking at the next vehicle coming through. We're now at that point where we're having to make that decision. What's actually happened is that decision has collided with this change in electrification. That's come back to then where do we need to put our investment and is best suited for investment. And as I just illustrated a moment ago, in terms of that's China, that's America, that's Japan.
If Brexit had not happened, there's a lot of people saying that what happened is over decades there's been this understanding between the UK and Japan that if the UK is a stable, good partner, business-headed partner for Japan, then that investment would still be going on. And somehow that relationship, because of Brexit, has broken down.
This is not a Brexit-related issue for us. This decision's been made on the basis of the global changes I spoke about. So although those things actually, we were very clear on our Brexit position, we've always seen those as being something that we will get through. Nevertheless, these other changes which are coming at us globally, we have to now respond to. And as I said, it's a really sad day for our people in Swindon, and certainly we deeply regret the impact that this is going to have on them and their community.
It seems to happen very, very quickly, and Greg Clark, the business secretary, will tell you that he has been bending over backwards to try and make the UK a hub for electrification, for electric vehicle manufacture. You've had the battery, the Faraday Challenge, you've had a lot of investment going there. Nissan, for example, are making a lot of electric cars in the UK. All of that, no use to you.
In terms of that, it's not of no use. From that point of view, hopefully we'll see some of those suppliers come through as suppliers to our global production capability. But in terms of where we are in our investment in the UK, then I'm afraid we're in a position where our investment and our focus needs to go somewhere else. It can't be in the UK. And this is really a challenge for us on a global basis and not decisions being made locally by either ourselves or equally by the UK government.
If what you say is correct, that we are facing unprecedented change and we are looking at electrification on a massive scale, and you're saying that the scale for the UK is just not here, that's a pretty sorry lookout for the rest of the industry in the UK.
I can't really explain what's happening in the rest of the industry, just in terms of where we're going in our competitors in that respect. we have to face the reality that we've got.
All right, and a very quick one. What are you going to do to help those people who are going to be without a job come 2022?
Well, of course, we're going into consultation now. It is still a proposal. And therefore, from that perspective, we're looking to put into place a whole raft of support services during the consultation process. And obviously, beyond that, we'll be looking to make sure that we are a good partner in terms of helping the government, helping the local authorities and other agencies in the area to make sure our associates come out of this in the best way possible. As I said, we do deeply regret the impact this is going to have on Swindon, on the community, and quite clearly on our associates.
And of course, the supply chain. Ian Howells, thank you